Getting that yard work done. That's why I did my shit yesterday. Did my shit yesterday. That's why I'm all stuffy from all the pollen. Can't be worth shit, but at least I don't have to get out there and do it this morning. And that's the plus. Alright, guys. Alright. Wow. Really, I really cannot fucking breathe right now. So I'm gonna I need to what I need to do is bring the laptop over. All right. All right. Laptop and laptop. Fuck. Laptop is on the third floor. Is where the laptop's at. Well, I have a laptop down here, but screw that one. Let me go. Let me go grab this laptop from upstairs. Yeah. All right. I got the laptop. I can plug this shit in there. Is there an extra plug back here? Ugh. Why, yes. Yes, there is. All right, laptop. Get plugged in there. All right. And let's crank this thing up. Oh my God. Oh, so me and a buddy of mine, I actually know him in person. I only met him in person a couple of times, but we communicate a lot on Facebook. And I've been talking about the issue of reparations. And he's a mixed guy. You know, he's his family's mixed, and he's mixed. And then he just had a kid with a white girl, I'm thinking. And so he's like, oh, my son looks Spanish, but the hospital put him down as black. And it's like, I don't know. Those are very difficult issues to talk about, especially when it comes to race. Like, how black are you? Am I black enough? And especially if the miracle ever happened of reparations being handed out, like who would qualify? Who would qualify for reparations? And what would be the list of qualifications or criteria that you would have to meet in order to receive reparations? And the thing is, like, I don't fucking know. I don't know what would be required to prove that you're black enough. You know? It's a weird gray area. And I have biracial family members. And I can imagine, like, yeah, how would that feel? But I don't know. honestly, I keep trying to formulate my or articulate my own feelings on this thing because I kind of know how I feel, but it's like you can't help who you fall in love with. I get that. You can't help who you love and all that good stuff. So people are just gonna be people and love who they want to love. But I honestly feel if you love your race or your ethnic group more than you love any other ethnic groups, then you wouldn't marry outside of your race and have kids out, interracial children. Now that's harsh to say, but that's my own personal opinion of it. And once again, you can't help who you fall in love with, but it is still a conscious decision of who you're going to be with and who you're going to build a family with. And so if people make those conscious decisions to dilute their genetic code or dilute their ethnic group by practicing interracial dating and having interracial kids, then that is a conscious decision. And I don't know. I don't. If this comes into the point that this is just all around this talk of reparations. And what if they were being distributed? What if we were about to get reparations? Who would qualify for it? If you made a conscious decision to be with someone else outside of your race and have kids and have interracial kids or biracial kids, I don't think the children should get reparations. Yeah, I'm trying to think right now because like I said, I have biracial cousins, and so my aunt, my mother's sister, my aunt, a black woman, strong black woman, is married to a white man, and they have two kids together. And I have two cousins that are. Well, I actually have more than two cousins, but I'm just talking about one of my other cousins. She's a black woman, and she has a kid from a white man. So I have three biracial cousins in my family who I'm really really close with. And by my opinion, if we were to receive reparations next week, my cousins wouldn't qualify for it, and it's no fault of their own. It's not their decisions. They didn't ask to be here, or they didn't ask who their parents were, but for the simple fact that their parents made a conscious decision to dilute their race by having interracial children, I don't think the kids deserve it. I honestly don't think the parents deserve it either. Your son is black and white, Shaman. Shaman, if I was on the board of reparation committees, I would not allow you or your son to have reparations. Now, if there's a big enough committee and a board and everybody has to vote on this stuff, I'm almost certain that my opinion would get voted down and voted out. That shit would get overridden like, whoa, 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 whoa. What do you mean biracial people can't receive reparations? Hey, that's just me. Y'all want to override my vote? I can't do nothing about that. But personally, me, that's how I'm thinking right now. If we handing that shit out tomorrow or next week sometime, next week, nigga, we get those reparations. You qualify? I don't qualify. Why? I'm biracial. I'm not black. So Obama wouldn't get reparations under my opinion. Now them niggas that was slaves and come from slaves and they just always fuck with niggas and they don't want to be nobody else or be with nobody else and they always just love black people and always wanted to have black families and black babies and just be with black people. Them niggas deserve some reparations. Them motherfuckers deserve something. I've been black the whole time. I ain't never tried to be nothing else but black. I ain't never wanted my family to be nothing else but black. Not trying to be nobody else or look like nobody else, none of this other stuff. And I want what was supposed to be given to us. I don't get half. It's not even. It wasn't even your choice. It wasn't your choice. It wasn't your decision or nothing like that. That's my opinion. Like. And that's what I was thinking too, like, cause one of my friends, he's biracial, and he was asking the same questions, like, what about me? I'm like, dude, honestly, if we were to give it to biracial people, there has to be like some kind of way to prove that you're 51% of African descent. It has to be 51%, not half. You got to be more. You got to be like more black than anything else if you have Portuguese or German or European ancestry in you. And I know it because it's in all of us to a certain extent because we were all raped the fuck out of during slavery. They just fucked everybody. They raped the men, everything. And it's weird. It's just so weird what they did to us. But like, if you don't have like at least 51, you have to have that majority over. Then maybe. I don't know. It's just so hard. If half is, that's. I don't know. That's what I'm saying. Cause if it's half, then it's not like it's whole. It's not whole. You're not black because you're half. But if you're more than half, if you're 51%, you're more than half. You're closer to being. And this is that weird area that I have no real understanding of because I'm not biracial. And like I say, my cousin just started a business. I ordered some of her products. One of the most beautiful, motivated, intelligent, talented young ladies in my life. And I'm not saying that because she's my blood relative. I'm just saying that because that's who she is. Her mom, my aunt is the head of the engineering department for a branch of Boeing, electrical engineering. She helps designs the communication and speaker systems for Boeing airplanes. That's what my aunt does. And she's the head of that department. Now my cousin I'm talking about, that's her mom. Smart fucking women, smart, beautiful, intelligent. My cousin just started a business. I bought some of her products and stuff. I don't want to take anything away from anybody, and I don't know how it feels to be in that zone where you're biracial. I can only go on my opinions. And the one time I had enough courage to ask one of my biracial friends, like way back in the day. Because his mom is white, and I asked him, and I assumed something at the same time, and he had to correct me. I said, why do you feel more black than white? And I just assumed that he felt that way, and I don't know why I worded the question. He's like, I don't feel like I'm more black than white. He said, I feel like black people accept me more. And so I tend to have more black mannerisms. I tend to gravitate more to black culture. I tend to have more black friends. Even though my mom is white, black people accept me more for who I am than the white community does, and I just feel more comfortable around black people. It's not that I feel like I'm more black or I'm more white. I just feel more accepted by black people, and that was the first time I like tried to understand like that whole situation, because my interracial cousins, their father is white and he is white. He's from Minnesota. He played hockey. He's ex-military. He's a white guy, and they act more like his father, and they tend to have a closer connection with the whiteness of them, the white culture, or whatever you want to call it. You know what I'm saying? And my cousin, her boyfriend is white or Russian, but a white guy, so she tends to like that more. And so her mom is black, her dad is white, she's biracial. She has a white boyfriend. If they have a kids, and then this blackness is going to be slowly bled out of their genetic code from a conscious decision that they're making on their own. You're consciously making this decision to, I'm going to side this way more than this way. This is what I'm attracted to more than this. And that's it. And like, if you want to like push that blackness away from you, then I don't think like you would be deserving of it. Now, if your family has a tradition where your mother and your father and your uncle say, marry a beautiful black woman, marry you a handsome black man, black love, and this and that, and there's not as much divergence in there, those are the people I would say deserve reparations. Yeah, my son looks white, but still, and that's crazy. Like, once again, I can't even imagine living that life where the two, like, it's not like Hindus or Japanese Americans or fucking Arab Americans. Like, those people all have their own cultural biases and differences, but here in America, like, the major two things is black and white, and everyone knows that racial divide between black and white and the tragic history between black and white. So I can kind of see if you were like white and Asian, or if you were like fucking Russian and fucking Arabic or some shit like that mix, then your biracialness probably wouldn't be as awkward. I don't even know the fucking right language to use for this. But just being in America and having a black parent and a white parent, like I couldn't imagine like how is that trying to navigate your way through life where white is cherished and it's pure and it's God and Jesus, and black is dark and it's evil and it's hatred and it's the devil, and you're both of them. It sucks to be you. Like, fuck, god damn. And then some people accept you this way, and some people don't. And some people will accept you this way. And it's like I couldn't do it. I'm black. I know motherfuckers gonna look at me like I'm black, and they look at me and they see a black man. You don't have to question this shit. There is no maybe. Well, he could be like, nah, nigga. Y'all know when y'all see me. And it's having that ambiguity. Like I don't know. I can just imagine it's rough. I can imagine you guys have good lives and loving people and caring people, and your family is just a family, just a normal family like everybody else's fucking family. But then when you step outside into society, and it's like society looks at you like, who the fuck are you? Like, bitch, I'm me. I'm like, yeah, but what is that? And then my stepson, his family has like a lot of mixed background, and he's black, but he's really fair skinned. He has blonde hair and blue eyes. And I remember when he was in grade school, he was like in second or third grade, and he came home And he put his stuff down. He asked for his snack, and while he's eating his snack, he's like, Dad. He's like, what am I? I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, what color am I? I'm like, you're black. And he hold out his arm. He's like, but look at me. I'm orange. And I just cracked up fucking laughing because he is kind of a peachy orange color, you know, like, nigga, you light skin, like, yeah. And then that had to stem from something at school where his peers was questioning his race and asking him, what the fuck are you? Why you got blonde hair and blue eyes and your skin is really fair, but your features, you got big lips and big nose, like you look black, but you don't look black. Like, what the fuck are you? And then he comes home and says he's orange. He doesn't want to be black or white. He just looks at his skin. He's like, dude, this shit looks orange, bro. It doesn't look white. It doesn't look brown. It doesn't look black. He's like, Dad, I'm orange. And so that was the first time I actually had a conversation about race with my own child, and it's different just to navigate this fucking world, yo. On both sides, on the light hand side and the dark hand side. He said that shit matter on both sides. Damn. Racism on the white side. Black lives matter on my side. Clowns to the left and the jokers to the right. Here I am, stuck in the middle with you. Doo-doo-doo, stuck in the middle with you. Doo-doo, clowns to the left, jokers to the right. Here I am, stuck in the middle with you. I gotta do my hair, yo. Can y'all believe somebody wants me to model for them today? It's like, huh? It's like, yeah, I want you to dress nice. I got some outfits and shit. I'm gonna deck you down in and take some pictures. Me? I'm gonna do my hair first. I'm supposed to be doing my hair right now. That shit still look like a bird nest. It'll be alright in an hour, so it'll be alright. And this is the truth. I mean, we can express every phenotype through our DNA. It doesn't even matter. Every eye shape, every nose shape, every cranial shape, every skin complexion. We can do all that shit, yo. It don't every eye color, every hair color, every hair texture. That shit all come from the original man. The original man. You can express everything. Oh, your eyes look Asian. No, Asian people have eyes like me. My eyes don't look Asian. Because my eyes are a little slant, cheeky to the side. No. I don't have Asian eyes. Asians have black people eyes. Ow, ow. I get it too. I absolutely get it. Y'all know my last relationship. I was in an interracial relationship for 7 years. And me and my ex are still really good friends. We're still friends. She bought a painting from me a couple weeks ago. She called me up. She's like, Travis, you still have that painting? I'm like, yeah. She's like, I want that. I told her a price, and she was like, yeah, that's good. And I mean, I'm happy. We're still friends like that. You know? Oh, Shaman, I know. Like I said, man, you can't help who you fall in love with. You can't help who you love. mom is not playing that shit. And it's like my homeboy, like I got telling you, my homeboy back in the day, his mom was white, but he was go to their crib, man, his mom got Tupac posters, motherfucker, big ass Bob Marley quotes and all kind of shit, yo, like, militant. And that's the thing, like, some people get it, you know? Some motherfuckers get that shit. But, I don't know. This whole reparations talk, like I say, man, this is the time. Motherfuckers want to listen to us right now. Y'all really, really want to make change. It's 2020. Shit want to be different now, man. You know what I'm saying? Y'all want to right y'all wrongs and clear up this history. Y'all can't clear up the history. Y'all can't do that. But we can get on the path to start correcting some of the fucking hateful and heinous deeds that were done. You know what I'm saying? And once again, like I had somebody was asking about that shit, yo, why reparations and blah blah blah? Because, well, what about the Indians? What about the Japanese? What about the Jews? Everybody would deserve reparations, and it's like they already got reparations. I mean, the Indians got fucked over real bad, but they were allowed to keep some land. The Indians still have their native tongue, their spirit animals, their culture and their heritage, their names. The Asians, the Japanese who were put in concentration camps, they call them internment camps, but during World War II when we was going to war with the Japanese Americans, we didn't know if these motherfuckers were going to try to sabotage some shit from the inside, so we rounded up all the Japanese in the country and put them in concentration camps until the war was over. And then in the 80s, those families who suffered that oppression, they received reparations for that shit. The Jews, these motherfuckers that took all Palestine and Israel, all that shit, man, and goddamn America funds these bitches. We send them motherfuckers millions of dollars each year. Millions of dollars each year. And then the thing is that the U.S. government told the African, we will give you such and such. And then they said, you know what? Never mind. We ain't got the time or the energy or the land. There are a lot of y'all motherfuckers. We did the math. Y'all own half this fucking country. We ain't trying to do that. So we're just gonna say, fuck you. You're just figure it out, nigga. Figure it out. Pull yourself up by your bootstraps, bitch. But the Japanese got money, the Indians, the Japanese still know their name, know their heritage, know their family. The Jews know who they are. Oh, what about the poor immigrants who came and had to work in the coal mines and they were treated just as bad as Africans? Yeah, you know what? After a while, they were able to be inducted into the white race. Now the Irish and the Scottish and all these motherfuckers, they're just white. And they still know that they're Irish and Scottish and British, and they have their names O'Malley and O'Brien and all that shit. And then everybody just don't realize, like, what the fuck has been taken from the African. We don't know who we are. We are a created people. You made us. We were made. We carry your names. We speak your tongue. We don't know nothing about ourselves. At all. And then motherfuckers like, well, I don't know if reparations would be the right answer. It might not be the fucking right answer, but it's a step towards figuring out the right answer. Yeah, this shit don't make no goddamn sense. Everybody else know who they is except us. We don't know who we are. But then when we try to create ourselves, when we try to create our own selves and name our children Daquan or Tashikwa, you say that shit is ghetto. It sounds weird. No, it's creative and it's original, and it lets you know when you hear Daquan. Oh, that sounds like a black person. Exactly, motherfucker. Cause when I hear fucking goddamn Meeling, I'm gonna assume that's an Asian person. You know what I'm saying? That's what a fucking name is supposed to do. A name is supposed to denote your origin. All of them got paid, man. And that's crazy. Yeah. Even being adopted don't even know your shit, yo. That's the whole thing, yo. That's the whole race. That's our whole race. Stepchildren. You know what I'm saying? A whole fucking race of step kids. And y'all treat us bad and beat us all crazy and then wonder why we act up all the time. And you talk down to us and act like you can't trust us and then you wonder why we have so many damn issues. And you treat us like step kids and then we act like step kids and then you wonder why the whole fucking race act that way. And you've been treating us like that. You know? Having to name your kid white should be unlawful. I don't understand that. Or labeling children. I don't know. Race is a social construct. You know, it's it's an expression of your genes. That's all it is. And melanin is, I don't know, melanin is something that motherfucking science really still can't figure out. They just know it's good as shit, yo. It's in everything, and the more melanin you have, it just seems like the better your organs function, the I don't know, the healthier you are, the longevity you have. And so the expression of your genes of how much melanin you can produce is the only thing that divides the color variant. But we all know that the dark gene is dominant. That's why everybody who's mixed, like you guys have pigment. You know what I'm saying? That brown, that pigment gonna come through. That shit come through, yo, strong. But I don't know. I think we've been talking about reparations for so long. I've been putting. Where is it at? That book right there, Dr. Claude Anderson, Powernomics. I mean, Dr. Claude Anderson has given so many lectures on reparations, has given economic talks on the standings and the wealth of the black community right now, and it's like I've been he's been saying this shit for years. I've been talking about this shit as long as I've been researching the numbers and the history. Like once again, I had to tell a middle-aged white lady with college degrees that the fucking Asians got reparations. Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah, you don't even. It's not even that hard to know. Like that should be common knowledge. But then when it comes to niggas talking about reparations, it's like, what the fuck, yo? And then that's the thing too. Is like and then reparations between us. It's taken so fucking long. It's taken so many fucking 100 and something years that it's like, well, who gets it now and who deserves it and how do we dish it out? If you would have gave us that shit immediately after slavery, we would have known for a fact. Niggas, you were slaves, y'all get land. But even the slave masters got fucking reimbursed because the loss of property. These motherfuckers got paid off. The slave masters got paid off for loss of property. Then they came up with the fucking that's when really loitering laws and all these shits come around, yo. And the fucking, what's the name of that fucking system they use, yo? The convict release program or some crazy, whatever it was. Like, niggas, slaves, slavery over, but y'all can't get no land, right? So y'all, you ain't got nowhere to go. What the fuck? What do we have? Where do we go? You can't go anywhere. You don't have anything, and so now you're loitering. If you're loitering, you can be put in jail. If you're put in jail, they can make you work on plantations, basically the slave masters that y'all just came back from. So now you're working on a plantation to pay off your debts or fines because you were in prison for loitering because you have nowhere to fucking go. How long did that shit go on? You know what I'm saying? Then I don't know. It's been too long, and so now the problem seems difficult because it is. You know why? Because they still had more time, another 100 and something years, to fucking gobble up all the good land. All the good land, all the good waterways. And they're still trying to like chip away at the Indian reservations. Oh, well, we need a fucking pipeline coming through here. Motherfucker, that's where we get our fresh water from. Bitch, that's still some of our hunting lands. Well, we still got to put the pipeline through here. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I mean, how do you stop these motherfuckers, yo? How do you 400 years of just gobbling up all the land, privatizing everything, mechanizing everything, and then now it's like, like I say, when you talk about this shit, like, give us our piece, and it's like, well, how do we do that? Yeah, well, uh, most of the corporations who profited from slavery are no longer in existence. Most of them aren't, but some of them still are. And the U.S. government said they were going to cut the check. So y'all figure that shit out. Or y'all want us to figure it out? Because we can make our own think tank and come up with this idea and hammer this shit out for some clear, precise solutions and submit this. And let's get this shit passed. The 2020 African American, I can't even African American, like, I don't even like that term, yo. It's so weird. We have to come up with some other term, but anyway, we'll use that. African American hyphen black reparations. Uh, and that's what I'm saying, yo. Like, if you go for inflation, bruh, like you say, your interest and all that shit, man, you go for all that shit, bro. Come on, man. That's hundreds of thousands of dollars for each individual. Hundreds of thousands of dollars. Somebody proposed everybody should get $350,000. And now let's say if we do come up with a, a way to categorize people and who would be defined as black who could receive this shit. And let's say you got 4 members in your family and your whole family qualifies for this shit. I don't even know what 350,000 times 4 is right off my head. That's a lot of money though. Imagine one household getting a lump like that. Or imagine they create a treasury bond, a treasury fund, a reparations fund that has, you know, $13 trillion in it, and if you can legally be defined as black, you have access to this fund where there is so much money allocated towards a home, towards purchasing a home and land for yourself or your family, and then certain people would qualify, and then maybe you and your wife would qualify. So now you can buy a home, buy another property, maybe rent that property out. You have two kids under the age of 18, but as soon as, or maybe 21, as soon as, and they qualify, and as soon as they turn 21, then they have access to this fund, so they can go in there and grab monies for their first home, and there's money allocated towards higher education, and there's money allocated towards capital in order to create a business, and we can have a fund that would be accessed in that way. Or there would have to be some way, or even like maybe the COVID stimulus package that they gave, where they actually issued out checks, and there were talks of maybe a second round of this or a third round of this. Or so what if you qualified, and as a African American slash black person of the slavery descent or whatever, and you have four members in your family, all four members qualify, and each member of the family receives a $3,000 check each month for the rest of their life or some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So it would just have to be like some type of way to issue these funds or have access to the funds. But the shit can be fucking done. The banker bailout of 2008, when these motherfuckers popped up like $3 trillion somewhere, bailed out all the banks, and then still had $8 trillion missing. You know what I'm saying? Where the other $8 trillion went? You know what I'm saying? And then this COVID bailout, $2.3 trillion. Like, boom. Like I said, if y'all wanted to do this shit incrementally over the years, y'all could have been dishing out fucking checks annually, monthly, weekly, or whatever. You can't say the money's not there, and people are like, well, where would it come from? The first thing, there are some corporations still in existence today that was profiting off of the slave trade. Make them motherfuckers pay their cut, a lump sum, or some annual type extra taxes or fees or some shit. And then the government, once again, they told us that shit. Y'all, the government, man, you're going to have to pay the bulk of the bill. Y'all want to get some extra money? Cut your military budget. We got the biggest military budget in the fucking world. Over 200 permanent military bases across the fucking globe. Close them bitches down, yo. Bring the troops on. Save that fucking money and get that shit to us. Easy. Y'all ain't where the monies come from? Just cut the military, bitch. Stop policing the world for a decade and give us our cut, bitch. It's easy. I want 1.4 million, bitch. What? I want 1.4. I'm telling you, girl. Oh, wait a minute. Did I turn the laptop on? I didn't. I never turned that shit on. But once again, that would be something for a panel, a think tank, a round table, where we could vote or elect the brightest minds from the African American community and get these motherfuckers together. Let's get some national numbers. What is the our gross profit, how much money can we squeeze if we cut military budget and other non-essential government programs and stop all this dumbass police brutality and shit, yo, and have a fucking a panel of anywhere from 15 to 20 brilliant black people and sit down and hammer this shit out, yo, and come up with some shit. Oh, I don't, bruh. The Leo Muhammad, I done show that shit about 10 times. He talking to the old head. He's like, look, you older than me, but you got a bow tie on, so I know you're a smart man. But me, I'm your father. The white race like, no. The white race is the oldest race. Leo like, what? He broke that whole shit down on his ass, yo. Who killed Malcolm X? Yo, I'll be in here running my fucking mouth, yo. Ooh, No Man's Sky just got an update for the VR version. I normally I crush a bottle of water in one gulp, yo. I be thirsty as hell. Yo, them little water bottles don't be lasting long. I want my 175. Fuck that shit, yo. I understand what you're saying, Trap, but I'm in on this shit. I'm getting my piece, nigga. Check my repertoire, bitch. I do my footwork. I stand for my people. I pump my motherfucking fist. I will not doubt you one bit, my sister. I will not doubt you one bit. Just like Shaman and his son. But like I say, hey, that's my opinion. If when it's on a panel board in a decision like that, that shit go get override. Like, yo, we gotta get as much money out these bitches. Yo, you know what? Ooh, can I play that? Ooh, can I play that? Yo. Brother Polite be on some shit, yo. Yo, this motherfucker said, I don't know, man. I might just play it from my phone. Yo, Brother Polite said, excuse me. Yo, this nigga said, what if everybody had $1 million life insurance policy? Think about it. What if everybody had $1 million life insurance policy? You think the cops would want to kill 100 people? He's like, yo, that'd be $100 million they gotta kick out, yo, in money. Like, they'll start thinking twice about that shit, yo, and having money like that get out and dispersed into the black community. I was like, what? That shit do make some sense though. It's like, yo, get $100 million. Get $1 million life insurance policy. I might have to do that, yo. Even if I just die of natural causes or anything, at least that's a lot of money getting back into my family hands, yo. And that's what some people, I had this one dude say that shit too. Like, there's a difference between death insurance and life insurance. Motherfuckers think they got life insurance policies, but he like, that's just death insurance. That's just enough, maybe enough to bury your monkey ass. And your family gonna get like, a couple dollars, a little, what? Especially if you got some debt and shit, man. What you gonna do? You gonna lose the house? You gonna lose the car? What? You're like, man, that shit just death insurance, bro. But he's like, hey, you gotta have some life insurance. So when you go, yo, people got some shit. At least they got something, you know. Now I'm thinking like, I might have to get me $1 million. Like, I don't care how much that shit costs, yo, and just pay that shit. However much it is a month, I need $1 million life insurance policy. Hey Rasta, I post that on my Facebook page, bro. I already post that. I fuck with Polite. I posted that one on my Facebook. I know exactly which one you're talking about. I know exactly which one you're talking about. Oh, sorry, I missed the comment. Dang it. So I can't scroll back on the PlayStation, but I can scroll back on my phone.
FBI wiretap. FBI wiretap disconnected. Ready to pair.
Yeah, I really think the government gives a fuck about black people. That's the thing. Like, people say the government is made of people. You know what I'm saying? The government isn't just like this box. Here, this box right here. This is the government. No, the government is made of people. And so do the people who run the government give a fuck about black people? Not most of them. Not the overwhelming majority of these motherfuckers. They give a fuck about you. They don't give a fuck about you or me or nobody who look like us. Not for the most part. But anything, see, the thing is, the corporations run the government. Come on, man. Do the government give a fuck about us? Who run the government? The corporations. Who making money off of all this shit right now? Huh? Vaccines. Who make vaccines? Who own vaccination companies? Only the wealthy motherfuckers got the vaccination companies who own that shit. All this media hype and all this shit about Black Lives Matter. Who getting paid off of this shit? Is niggas making money off of this shit? Who? I don't understand why some people don't get this shit, man. That's what I say. Just give me my fucking money and leave me the fuck alone. I see what y'all be doing, all that extra shit, man. I know y'all don't care, but if y'all gonna give me my reparations, I'm sure hell gonna take that shit. A COVID stimulus check, give me that shit, motherfucker. What else you got? I want something heavy, bitch. I need reparations. You know what I'm saying? I'm good. I don't know. These motherfuckers don't care at all. What the fuck is a hidden joker? This nigga is cheating in cards? Bro, I don't even want to play with you now. I don't even like that. Boom, joker. Ain't we played both jokers already? Man, flip them books over, man. Wait a minute. Where the fuck you pull that joker from? Bro, I posted that. I posted that Brother Polite video so long. I be posting so much shit on Facebook. I don't post as much shit as some people though.
Connected to FBI wiretap. FBI wiretap disconnected. Ready to get connected to FBI wiretap.
I see rocks being thrown. Never mind the fact they're allowing us to burn down precincts with no police coming. No National Guard. They just let us burn down a goddamn police precinct.
Who do that? Who do that?
Where are the guns at? And I'm not asking for anyone to hurt anybody. I'm not advocating any of that. This is what I'm saying. We
be on the
just
same shit. That's on my Facebook page, bro. That's all I post on my Facebook, bro. I try to post some funny shit sometimes because my shit be getting kind of heavy, and I be looking at my own page like, the fuck is all this bullshit? Like all that, like, post something funny sometimes, nigga. Do something else. But man, shit's so heavy, and then I hate when people be like months behind. Like, oh, you hear about such and such? Like, bitch, I was trying to tell y'all that shit last year. Oh, man, when motherfuckers start talking about 5G, I'm like, bro, I've been talking about 5G for almost 2 years. Where was y'all at like almost 2 years ago? Y'all don't want to keep up with the news when it's news. Y'all try to keep up with the trendy shit. I be trying to figure out what the fuck be going on, bro. But when I talk about it, that shit be conspiracy theory. Until everybody else started talking about it, then it'd be like, oh, 5G, that shit gonna fuck people up. Like, I was like, damn, yo. All the Agenda 21 shit I've been talking about, man, like, I've been begging for reparations for years, man. I don't know, man. I feel like I get tired. FBI wiretap, yo. That's my my phone and my Wi-Fi, so don't connect to my shit, yo. My other shit was FBI surveillance van. Don't connect to my Wi-Fi. Don't connect to my phone or none of that shit. FBI wiretap. What? You feeling guilty? How you know I was talking about you? Say nah. Well, that's good though. And then people like, where you be getting all this other posts from? Cause I only fuck with motherfuckers who post good shit, yo. Like, fuck that. This is how you know all the news? My social media is news. My shit is news. That's where I get my news from. I don't gotta turn the TV on to watch news, yo. If some shit happen, some shit that I need to know about, oh, somebody gonna have that shit. So I hear about that shit. Trust me, I ain't gotta watch the news. I hear about it. Yeah, I know I just posted that Brother Polite John, his newest one. Where the fuck is that shit at? And then these dudes, once again, yo, motherfuckers like,
out of this Black Lives Matter lie. Yeah, everywhere you go, I go to Grubhub, Uber Eats, Twitter, Facebook. Hell, Instagram. I get a telemarketer calling me, please donate to Black Lives Matter. I'm tired of this damn lie, so I'm going to expose it. Yeah, I'm not going to tell you. I got to show you, because if I don't show you, you're going to call me a liar and a sellout and an Uncle Tom and a coon. Bad things happen to all races by the cops. Yeah, that catchphrase, Black Lives Matter, it duped a lot of us, but it didn't get us. Yeah, it's catchy though, but I didn't fall for it. Look here, first case.
Newly released body camera footage of this police shooting shows Daniel Shaver's last moments. Police were responding to reports of a man pointing a rifle out of a hotel room window.
Hands up in the air! You do that again, we're shooting you. Do you understand?
now they show this.
Begging for his life.
Then listen to my instructions. I'm trying to do it. Go!
And now they show this clip, and the cops killed this damn white boy. This motherfucker was scared for his life. He drunk as shit. He's scared for his life. They yelling at him. He just, hold your hands up, straight up in the air. Come towards me. Crawl towards me. crawl towards you. How I'ma crawl towards you, man? His pants falling down. He trying to keep his hands up in the air. Man, he put his hands down, and then he reached to pull his pants up. He was just trying to pull his pants up, and they shot that motherfucker dead, yo. Shot him dead. And these guys saying, oh, but nobody ain't try to protest for that. Nobody posted that story. Oh, yeah, I can't see it. Yo, Travis Prince, 2017. I posted that story. And then they showed 2 other clips, and I posted those too. And for some reason, I can't find those shits on my Facebook, yo. Those posts have been taken down. And it's like, so I wonder who's controlling the narrative on this shit. These motherfuckers is crazy, yo. Oh, they don't want to show that shit. I post all that shit. Anytime a cop kill anybody like that, the other story was these cops pull up on a white boy driving this pickup truck, had his little boy in the back. Yo, they wound up shooting the fucking truck up and killing his little boy, yo. The little boy was like 5 or 6 years old or some shit, yo. Killed his son dead. And I posted that story, yo, and ain't nobody, I was like, yo, that shit crazy how the cops killed a little baby like that. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck. The race, yo, it's like, why y'all using so much aggression? Like, why it took all that? It was a traffic stop. And then, like, I can't find that story no more, yo. Not on my page, yo. They took that shit down. And it's weird, like, how they do try to control the narrative. But at the same time, that shit happen to black people way more often, yo. And that Brother Polite post where he talk about, oh, that's it right here. No? This is it.
Aswad Ghedorah, Black Power. Now, I've come to terms with the fact that our people have a very low cognition of political science. So this message is for the whole community, more especially in the case the fly-by-night, hashtagging revolutionaries that are overwhelmed by the fact that they made it home safe and now they're commissioning everybody to go out there in disorganized fashion. Let me talk to you. It'd be irresponsible. We got to talk about responsibility, the ability to respond. And I know what people are going to say is, why you always got to bring up money when we talking about the revolution? That's the first thing they're going to say. And I'm going to tell you that the revolution has to be funded. Because when we got to pull our funds together to get that vehicle so we can deploy at the site where we need to mobilize, then everybody's short on change. The revolution has to be funded. And what's prerequisite to the funding of the revolution is ensuring the revolution. So, members of our New Covenant SARS body politic understand the expedience of being insured. You insure your car. Why won't you insure the livelihood of your family? As we put ourselves in harm's way when we go protest, and it may escalate to riots, you handicap your family when you go out there with no game plan and possibly get killed or hospitalized. And many of you are relied upon to add value to your family when it comes to paying rent, paying for gas, paying for utilities. You have to think smarter. That's why you need to take our classes for political action. Let me talk to you. If you were to get a whole life insurance policy, one that you could borrow against, because when we do have insurance policies, they're normally death insurance policies. I'm talking about life insurance policies, policies you could benefit from while you're in this existence. The right insurance policy, for very little on a month-to-month basis, will ensure that if you are admitted into a hospital from that day forward, you get in or around $5,000 every day. should you be admitted into the hospital? Let's say you got bopped over your head because the white man hit you in the head. Whatever the reason is. $5,000 a day. So you ain't got to worry about the bills that you lacking to pay. It'd be a come up damn near. The risk versus reward, of course, is horrible because you're getting stitches or whatever the case is, but at least you don't have two problems accumulating: resources and your health.
I think about shit like that. I only got insurance through my job, but my insurance is pretty good though.
Then what? Who takes care of your children? Who takes care of your...
$1 million. I need $1 million life insurance policy. Yeah.
You see, what I want to bring to your attention is when the revolution is insured, because we talking about political science and strategy. If everybody that was insured, let's say 100 of us gets hurt, and 100 of us have an insurance policy of this type. If 100 of us end up being hospitalized, that'd be 100 times 5,000. That'd be $500,000. The oppressor would have to consider the amount of cash that would have to come out because of his inability to refrain from physically encroaching us or perpetrating acts of racial animus. Let's up the ante though. Let's say 100 of us get murdered at the hands of the would-be oppressor, at the hands of vicious political results called police brutality. Let's say 100 of us was murdered. They would have to cash you out, at your family, that is, $100 million. The revolution needs to be insured. Because if 100 of us are insured properly, they would have to say to themselves, damn, are we willing to give up $100 million? Are we willing to give up $100 million for every 100 people? Let's get the disorganized brothers and sisters over there, because these ones gonna cost us $1/10 billion if we kill them. You think that's not gonna put shit on pause? Between the people getting paid $5,000 every single day, if 100 of us got admitted into the hospital, that's $500,000 every single day we're in there. We might have to stay in there for 2-3 damn weeks. $500,000 times 21 days.
I've been thinking about shit like that, yeah. And yeah. But that's it. Like, finish listening to his Joan. Go to Brother Polite. He's on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. Him and Dr. Boyce Watkins, they talk a lot about the financial part of the revolution. And that's where we need to... Dr. Claude Anderson talks about reparations. It's the monies. We need an economic foundation, a platform to produce generational wealth. That's the key. Like, we just die and just leave motherfuckers nothing. we just leave motherfuckers our debt. Like, here, y'all hold that. I'm out. like what? Wait a minute. You know? But this the shit that wealthy people know. That shit is weird. That shit is called, you gotta have life insurance. You know what I'm saying? A good life insurance. Death insurance is okay, but man, you gotta have an insurance policy that'll help you when you're alive and help, like you say, you can help pay bills. You can borrow against it once you have, invested so much. What the fuck do they call that term? Whatever it is. Well, once you pay so much into it, and then you can borrow against your life insurance policy the same way you can borrow against like your 401k plan. And then when you do kick the bucket, it's so much money. Like your people are like good. Like, your son gonna go buy a fucking Corvette. We'll have dad's life insurance policy kicked in. I just used a little bit of it. Yeah, just a little bit to get this Corvette. Motherfuckers can live. You know what I'm saying? Then your child is smart enough to have $1 million life insurance policy for his kids. That's why it's hard to own this house and to keep up with this shit, man. But owning property, yo, that shit is essential. You gotta do that shit. So, and keep it and maintain it and increase the value so that you can either sell this shit, because I think I'm gonna sell this one. But like I said, I want to increase the value of the property and then sell it and make more money off of it than I paid for it, and then move to where I really want to go and like either build a house or buy a nice house down there with more land, and then leave that shit to my fucking family. Like, here, you don't have to buy your first house. Here's a house. You know what I'm saying? You already got that. And I left you a fucking $1 million life insurance policy. Don't tell me you can't get ahead, motherfucker. You know? Now you got a goddamn foothold. You got a house. You got some money in the bank. All you gotta do is educate yourself well and raise your family good, and then teach your kids, yo. Hey, let's buy some of this land up. Start some businesses. Build communities. I think that's the key. Give me that reparation money. I'm buying houses and property. I'm buying some shit with that shit, yo. And then that's how motherfuckers can build bigger communities. Because if motherfuckers, once again, if 3 people in your house qualify and all 3 of y'all got $350,000, then people like, shit, you can move to wherever you really, really wanted to always live. And then what if somebody moved to Asheville, North Carolina, and they started telling people like, this is a really, really nice town, and there's lots of land out here and nice properties, and then a few more black families move purposely to Asheville, North Carolina, and then a few more families, and then after a while, Asheville would be an all black town. And that's how that shit would fucking happen. And you'll roll through there, and then in 60 years and 100 years, a couple generations later, it's not a lot, just a few generations later, motherfuckers will roll through, be like, yeah, Ashland is, the black town, Ashland. And then that's how shit'll be, yo. But doing is way better. Next week, the organization that I'm a part of, the Black Scranton Project, we are going to have our Juneteenth Jubilee down at one of our local parks and have people come out and fellowship and celebrate the history and legacy of Juneteenth. You know, and keep that alive and keep people educated about the dates and when it was and why we celebrate it.
FBI wiretap disconnected. Ready to air.
FBI wiretap disconnected.
Connected to Prince.
Trent. It says T Prince, and then she's like Trent. Connected to T Prince. Cause this is supposed to be my work laptop, so I can't put FBI wiretap on here, or else I would. I definitely would. Yo, that Dave Chappelle joke.
This episode is sponsored by Audible. However often the universe gives birth to life, intelligence, and civilization, some civilization had to be the first. And that lonely, first to the party civilization, looking around wondering, where is everyone, might very well be us. Looking at the immensity of the universe with its billions of galaxies, each billions of years old and containing billions of stars and planets, it's kind of difficult to imagine we are all that is, the only place with life on it. And yet in a century or so since we started getting a grasp on how big the universe is and searching for signs of life, we've come up with no strong evidence of any other civilization. This we call the Fermi paradox, the seeming contradiction of just how big and old the universe is, and how devoid of life it is, or at least of intelligent life, making its presence detectable. Many explanations have been offered over the years, but one of the most common is that life just isn't that common, or at least rarely manages to reach our core level, and it would need to be further along a pathway to space colonization or energy abundance for us to be able to see or hear them. We've discussed this possible solution and the reasons for it in our Great Filter series, all the various factors that might filter out candidates at various steps from newly formed planet to interplanetary species. This is the explanation I tend to subscribe to myself, because while I don't feel the evidence for it is overwhelming by any means, it does seem to be the Fermi paradox solution with the most circumstantial and indirect evidence going for it. Today we're going to examine what it would be like for the firstborn civilization, and what the implications would be if that happens to be us. Like a lot of our Fermi paradox episodes, this will be a longer video as we consider why so many of us tend to subscribe to this idea, so you may want to grab a drink and a snack. And speaking of subscribing, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Alright, let's start with the reasoning and the one big flaw in it. Regardless of how common life is,
That's weird. I keep hearing something. And I've been here. I thought I heard something a while ago. And I put a mouse trap out. And nothing's on the mouse traps. I don't. I heard he changed that or something so that it wouldn't be on the Juneteenth celebration. Damn, I forgot who posted something about that, but somebody said that Trump changed it so that he wouldn't come on Juneteenth and like disrupt and disturb everything because people didn't want him to. Wait a minute, let me find out. I know that was you who posted that shit. Yeah, but that's the thing too. Like I couldn't read the article, and so that's why I didn't share it. But somebody posted that this morning that it's just the title. It's a headline from Huffington Post that says Trump moves Tulsa rally so it won't fall on Juneteenth. So he's like, I won't be there on your day. You know what I'm saying? Y'all niggas can have that shit. I'll come. I'm coming to Tulsa, but I won't do it on Juneteenth. I won't be there for that. If y'all don't want me there, I won't come. Y'all can have it. I'll stay back. And then my homie was like, y'all still hate him now? And that's the only thing I say, like, whatever about Trump, yo. These dudes are just some guys. They're just people. You know what I'm saying? Some of the policies they're allowing him to pass during his fucking administration seem not too bad or whatever. And I don't know. Like, I think sometimes he just says the dumbest shit. I thought Bush said a lot of dumb shit, but Bush just said like unintelligent shit. Like Trump just says dumb shit. Like, damn, bro. Like, just shut up sometimes, homie. Do I hate Trump? I don't hate none of these motherfuckers. I think all of them actors, yo. I don't hate actors. You know what I'm saying? You doing your job. You getting paid. You getting paid to play your part. Motherfuckers get paid to play their part. And he listened. Now imagine if he was a real dick and it's like, fuck y'all, and still came anyway. You know niggas tired right now, bruh. You already know, like, look, dude, just please. Alright. I'll let them have their little black holiday. Juneteenth, what is it? Juneteenth? Shit sounds ridiculous. So I actually did a stream last night for the local art alliance, art council for my county, and it was pretty cool. And then I don't know. I just really enjoyed doing it and got to talk about a lot of stuff. Got to talk about my artwork and why I choose to put literature in my artwork. Got to talk about the fact that I am a board member for the Black Scranton Project and what the Black Scranton Project is trying to do. Got to talk about our Juneteenth Jubilee that's coming up that we are hosting at one of our local parks. I got to talk about my Roundtable TV show that I do, and about all the commission work that I'm getting and the murals that I'm doing, and then I got to paint for a little while, and just kind of talk through the process of me painting for about 30 minutes. So that was really fun. So I did that last night. Gonna go model today. Gonna go record an episode of my TV show tomorrow. Our Juneteenth event is next Friday. And then I gotta find some other shit to put on my agenda. Oh my God. It's getting to that point where I'm getting tired of doing this shit.
Or isn't. Be it native to nearly every planet or rarer than one per galaxy, someone had to be forced. And this needs some caveats though. The force is that the place where life first emerged is not necessarily the place where it first achieved intelligence. It could have popped up on some planet where it died off quickly or evolved slowly or just down some other path in intelligence. And some later planet went on to be the home to the first brains. Indeed, as we discussed in our episode on panspermia, there is an outside chance that back when the universe was about 1,000th its current age and had an average temperature about that of bath water, even before the first stars began, simple life could have emerged in giant bowls of water contaminated with some higher elements. The bathwater epoch was a fairly short period of around 10 million years, starting about 10 million years after the Big Bang, and very slim on heavier elements since the Big Bang produced few of them, and it was before any stars and supernovae created them. But stars and stellar systems begin to form not long after that. When bits of ice and dust get caught in each other's gravity, gravitational energy is converted to kinetic energy in the form of their falling into each other, and that energy is turned into heat during the collision. This energy is called the gravitational binding energy, and the heat it imparts on a newly formed protoplanet sticks around for quite a long time. As we discussed last week in our Somewhere on Jupiter episode, the binding energy of Jupiter is equivalent to our Sun's entire energy output for a couple of centuries. So you could easily have a lot of early failed protostars, be it gas giant or brown dwarf, that stayed quite warm and by sheer luck absorbed heavier elements from any earlier supernova, and were able to get the needed chemicals and warmth for life to form. This isn't super likely compared to normal planet formation, but in something as vast as the universe it could easily have happened a few times. And it would be a huge jump on life timelines compared to the later metal-heavy terrestrial planets, which probably only started forming in abundance 6 to 10 billion years ago, and continue to grow more common as the abundance of metals arose. And that's an important point to understand. Life is a statistics game, and we tend to look for the most probable scenario. But when you're discussing the first case, it is arguably a rather improbable one. In other words, the universe started out not fertile for life.
And that's what I really know too, is like, a lot of people not doing good right now. At all. A lot of people just not, they're just not doing good. You know, physically, mentally, economically, some people are just not doing well. And so I'm definitely fortunate. I know that. I can't explain it. I don't know why. I'm just gonna accept it. Accept my good fortune. Not feel bad about it. Not gonna feel bad right now. Just can't. You know? And I just hope I can keep enough energy to enjoy all of this shit. Let's go do something else. I'm like, damn, nigga, I'm tired, man. I need a nap real quick. Let me take a break. No. This is your year. It's like, I know it's my year. You got so much shit going on. Thank you. But The Last of Us Part 2 just came out. Man, I can't paint right now. Yo, I got so many commissions to do, and then I got a video game coming out. No, fuck. My art will suffer. I already know. I already know. It's like, I will not sleep. I gotta work on my art. I gotta play my game. I'm gonna just have to sacrifice some sleep, yeah. That's all. I sacrifice a couple hours of sleep a day so I can play a couple hours of video games. I definitely do that. You know what I mean? Sleep is for the weak. You can sleep when you're dead. Because any other way, man, the art will suffer. Oh my God! Everybody always talks about my Elmer Fudd dude. Yo, he knows he has a speech impediment. He says he was taking speech lessons. That's my man's motherfucking Isaac Arthur. He said Elmer Fudd,
and very slowly became more so for eons. So the very first life that ever formed had to have gotten lucky and formed at a time when the universe was a lot less conducive to it than it would later be. Continuing on our caveats, though, on this notion that someone had to be forced, we also need to say the first what, because for the Fermi paradox, we don't really care if our galaxy has a billion intelligent species on a billion worlds, if that level of intelligence is sub-sapient, or just never went the technological route, or blew itself up before we could detect them or they could spread out to the galaxy. What we really mean is the first interstellar species, something we could detect or communicate with now. There's also the caveat of what we really mean by first in a space-time sense, too. If a species popped up in the Andromeda Galaxy 2 million light-years away, 100,000 years ahead of us, they'd still beat us out technically speaking, but we wouldn't receive any light or signals from them for another 1.9 million years, barring the invention of some faster-than-light communication method. You could have the jump on everyone else by a billion years, and yet only those folks within a billion light-year radius of you would conceivably be impacted by your emergence. That is a huge value, but in universal scales, ignoring expansion and just going by the current size of the observable universe, that observable universe is 100,000 times larger than that billion light-year radius bubble. Just to illustrate that idea to scale, let's assume the Milky Way contained 0 life 6 billion years ago, but there's a 0.1% chance of some life appearing in it in any billion-year window. That would mean there's less than a 1% chance any life formed before us. In other words, more than a 99% chance that we are the first. This probability isn't static, of course, we're just simplifying. The probability would be rising with time as more planets formed, and more time passed on older planets for life to emerge and get smart. Regardless, were that the case, we'd have expected about 1 billion civilizations to have arisen 5 to 6 billion years back, each with 1,000 entire galaxies themselves, but even here most of them would have emerged
Battery low, please charge now.
for Earth even formed, to see a lot of order and massive Kardashev 3 civilizations sitting around already. Indeed, most of them would have been safely inside the colonization zone of such an earlier civilization, even if they were limited by sublight travel times. as you could probably colonize even other galaxies and do so at a decent fraction of light speed. See our intergalactic colonization episode for details. It's a bit hard to guess how fast life would populate out, but any scenario where we does and can do so between galaxies, and would also want to do so, pretty much sees any local region of the universe totally colonized by whoever was born first there before anybody else popped up, unless intelligent life is ridiculously common, and it is highly improbable you'd ever have an in-galaxy colonization war, since galactic colonization timelines are probably on the order of 1 million years. If life were that common, that two rival civilizations could emerge in a galaxy in a 1 million-year window, then the universe would definitely be colonized down to every last single rock by now, which it obviously is not. So we're really only contemplating scenarios where intelligent life is rare enough that you've got at least a galaxy to yourself on average, and then from the timelines involved, you probably were kicking around space for a goodly while before you heard from any ancient empires half a galactic supercluster away. So we also just mean firstborn in a local sense, someone who began with space pretty much to themselves. Now they might know others did exist far away, which would tend to impact their view of the universe, but they'd likely hypothesize that anyway, even without evidence. Also, we were talking about alternate universes and parallel realities a month back, and those could easily have inhabitants long predating not just that civilization, but that civilization's entire universe. And they all likely have theories on that the same as we do, assuming they haven't figured out a means of visiting such places too. Still, hypothetical knowledge is very different than proof, even if that proof is merely a hazy, distant detection of an order empire. And again, if they are forced on the scene locally, and their nearest neighbor who predated them was 100 million years away and 99 million years older than them, they won't see them for 1 million years after their own emergence, when they've already colonized their entire native galaxy. Another thing, though, is that they really aren't likely to be surprised. Unless evolution really does inevitably produce intelligence wherever it emerges, there should be a ton of other worlds, some a good deal older, where non-intelligent life already was around when you show up. And even if it does inevitably lead to intelligence, there would be a ton of worlds that were just younger than you, or slower to develop to that than you, that you'd run across. And again, the odds of life in a given chunk of space go up with time, as more planets form, both from the longer period of time and the rise of heavier elements as more stars live and die, and exhale their last gasp of heavy elements to the cosmos. Plus, of course, it's more time for those worlds that already existed to have life pop up on them too. We might hypothesize that the odds of life emerging in any given region of space 4 billion years ago, when it emerged here, was a lot less probable than it is now, and that evolution to intelligence on Earth happened as a rather fast outlier compared to the norm. And that would still leave us a galaxy with a ton of other inhabited worlds, so that we wouldn't be surprised intelligence emerged elsewhere too. However, even a species that assumes its intelligence was unnatural in origin, divinely granted or an extreme statistical fluke, is still unlikely to be surprised at eventually encountering other intelligent life, as they're bound to at least contemplate that scenario. You might say a civilization can't reach out to the stars without a good grasp of scientific reasoning, which is true enough. But more importantly, they can't have even gotten to the point of considering science without having minds configured to run a lot of what-if scenarios. Indeed, it's quite likely a big chunk of the survival advantage our brains gave us, and you have to have that survival advantage to have big brains, as they aren't cheap, was the ability to run simulations. We don't work by trial and error. We work by looking at a situation and guessing various outcomes, by imagining or simulating how they will play out and doing it over and over again until we find the best option. That's the big advantage of a big old brain capable of abstract thinking before you use it to make technology, which, as handy as it is very recent. We may have had fire for 1 million years, but we didn't make pottery or metal for 99% of that time. And most of our primitive technologies we associate to Neolithic civilizations is decidedly high-tech compared to what humanity had for most of its existence. Our big brain's big survival edge wasn't technology, it was prediction and running hypothetical scenarios. That's likely to be the same for alien civilizations too, and there might be other intelligences besides ours. It is a pretty obvious and probable one for them to contemplate long before they had technology, same as we did in the form of hundreds of mythological creatures, from elves and dwarves to leprechauns and yeti. So a firstborn species might be rather culturally shocked by encountering or detecting alien life, especially intelligent life, but not to the point of utter surprise, and that shouldn't last very long in the grand scheme of things. A generation or two set against countless ones before and after. Though a caveat there too, if your first positive detection of life comes from some encounter 1,000 light years from your homeworld, it's going to take 1,000 years for news to get home. And if you're sprawling interstellar civilization that's already colonized a bubble that big, the folks at Leading Edge who first saw that will have had generations of time to get used to it already when the folks on the other side of your civilization get their first shot.
I swear, and that's the whole thing about the Fermi Paradox, yo, and aliens, and I put a post on Facebook today too. It's like, why don't we see spaceships that look like something we can see? It's always like this blurry, nondescript thing or a glowing something orb or something. Like, why don't we just see like a spaceship and just like see it? I don't know, man. But the Fermi Paradox is something fun to contemplate. If space is so big and so old, why isn't it just obvious? Why isn't it absolutely obvious, without a shadow of a doubt, that there are other beings out there, instead of all these mysterious so-called encounters that we always get? But I don't know. I used to want to believe in aliens so bad, like being on Earth or coming to Earth or some shit. But I don't know. I really doubt it. And then when I got into the ancient alien theories, like, oh, they're not here now, but they were here. Who do you think built the pyramids? And it's like, yeah, I don't think so either. I don't even believe the ancient alien theories. I used to love that show too, Ancient Aliens. And then I started listening to like what's the guy's name? I can never think of this motherfucker's name. Brian Foster. Brian Foster does a lot of really, really good, like, short documentaries. And John Anthony West and Robert Bauval and people like what's my other man's name? I can't think of his name. Graham Hancock. Wow, I had some breakfast. What up? Oh, cause it's lunchtime already. I could say, but I'm hungry again. But that's because it's time to eat again. Wow, so how long? 2 hours already? Jeez. 2 hours. I'm getting better though. It used to take me 3 hours to do this shit. I'm almost done. Then I gotta go look sexy on camera for my photo shoot. I ain't gonna lie, yo. The last time I was on TV, my forehead so big, I get that big ass glare. Yo, they had to powder my forehead. I wore makeup for the first time. Felt a little awkward putting powders on my face. Yeah. I was gonna do some shoulder workouts this morning, and then I was like, nah, I gotta do my hair. I ain't gonna be fucking having my shoulders all tight and still gotta do this shit. Fuck that. I did do some gardening this morning though. So I took one of my plants out of I had it in just a starter pot. And so I took my plant out the starter pot and put it in like a larger pot. It's not gonna stand out neither. Like once the root system gets a little tougher, I'll transfer it again into a bigger pot where hopefully I'll let it stay in that last one. But ouch. I did that this morning, and then I transferred. I was growing some sack potatoes. It's really potatoes just grow. Like them motherfuckers they're basically like a weed almost. Them shits just grow crazy. So I just had a half a bag of gardening soil. And so I just like cut the top part of the plastic down. Like the bag, but the dirt was just here. So I just cut the top part of plastic off and threw that shit away. Now I just got like this little short bag of dirt. And I just fucking stuffed some fucking potatoes in that shit. And poured some water in there. And it's my sack potatoes. And so, in the past couple weeks, the fucking potato stalks coming out that bitch this goddamn long. And so I know those potatoes are going to start budding soon. So I had this like a storage bin. Like a plastic storage bin that I wasn't using. And I drilled some holes in the bottom of it. And I put some dirt in that shit. And then I took the sack potatoes and set it in there, and then ripped the plastic bag and pulled the bag out. And so now the sack potatoes are just sitting in the new dirt. I tried to plant some shit in my yard. That shit is a no-go. I might try a different area, but the area I wanted to plant in dug down like 2 feet. Shit is just rocky as hell. It's rocky, then it turns to like some of that red clay shit. Like you can't grow shit right there. I'm like, fuck. And that's why my grass looks all crazy and weird and mismatched. It ain't really good soil. So I was thinking maybe even just making some planter boxes. Just getting like some 2x6s or something, and make like little short boxes that sit on top of the ground, and fill those up with dirt, and then plant into that. Or keep doing my sack and bucket method. I don't know. I want me some peppers and some squash. So, but if I want to do that shit, I got to do it like this weekend, because our growing season ain't but so long. I'm definitely going to have to like plant some shit by next weekend. Let's see if I get me a couple fresh peppers. So you can pickle your peppers. You can pickle them by the peck. If you can grow a whole peck of peppers to pickle, and then you'll have a pack of pickled peppers. Then you can get your homeboy Peter to pick them. And then Peter pick a pack of pickled peppers. Oh man, the hunger is so real. Peter's pickled peppers. What? Alright, I'm almost done with this joint. I don't know what I'm I gotta have something to eat before I go over there though. I ain't about to be trying to pose and shit with my stomach growling. That ain't no good look. Yo, somebody asked me the other day, yo, is this my real hair or was it attached to my hat? I almost passed out. Almost passed out. Ouch. Alright. Now, after this, I need a little shape up. And since I'm gonna have a wardrobe, I'm gonna do have a wardrobe and do a wardrobe change and all that shit. I don't have to get dressed nice. I'm just wearing some sweatpants and shit over there because motherfucker, you gotta dress me. I'm not dressing nice. I'm not wearing shit because that's all I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go over there. I'm a model. I'm gonna come back home. I'm gonna get on the game for a little while, and then I gotta go work on this commission. I ain't gonna lie, yo. I gotta hit the studio for a couple hours today. Cause I got the canvas toned and everything, and I put some paints on my palette last night, so I need to go up there and work on that piece for a little while. But what can I eat before I leave the house? I want a sandwich. Or a Hot Pocket. Hot Pocket. Or a bowl of cereal. Ooh. I think a bowl of cereal might be good. I don't want to feel like I'm eating too much anyway. I don't want nothing hot, really. Eat a bowl of cereal. And then, I got this big ass fucking pizza in the deep freezer. I'm gonna pull that pizza out, have that shit for like dinner, supper. Cook that shit early. I want to smoke some more, but I'm not going to because I don't want to look too high in the pictures. Then I gotta drop this painting off. Drop this painting off at UPS that's going to South Carolina today. The painting I did of the little baby, y'all remember that one? Gotta ship that out today. Busy. Being busy is good though. And I showed my little product on Facebook the other day. My little brush holder. People liking that shit. You know what I'm saying? Can't wait till we can go into production. Go into production for my brush holding system. And then just sit back and watch the millions roll in, yo. And then I will be bougie. It's like, no. I will forget people's names and faces. Who are you again? I know you from where? I will be so fucking bougie. So bougie. Oh no. Damn, I gotta get some cereal. That ain't good. Oh my god. Alright. Smoke, what up? Alright. I just ran out of both cereal, y'all. I had some Frosted Flakes, had some Fruity Pebbles, and out of both of them, I had enough to make just a half a bowl of cereal. So now, after I drop this painting off at UPS, I gotta go grocery shopping. keep adding more shit onto my motherfucking list, yo. It's goddamn Saturday. Oh, I'm playing some video games sometime today. Last of Us Part 2 come out next Friday.
The Joe Rogan Experience.
This business has always been weird like that. There's always
No,
been
that's
people.
why you're the king, dude, because you got outside of it, but you're totally in it, and they can't get you. They can't get you. I you know, I'm piling up some stories here, being in the Matrix. I won't get into them, but it's the same. It's just the same old. Corporations only know how to do business one fucking way, and
Well,
it's just
They push their advantage. They push their advantage. They have their leverage, and they want the biggest slice of the pie. That's what they do.
I don't have a problem with that. It's when they go beyond that and they just straight up steal.
Are they stealing from you? Right now?
Everybody does. Every time you get in business with like corporate guys, this is how it works. It's like the check. Okay, we're in business to make money from them, and then you get in business with them, and then the check goes to the corporate guy, and then you get your cut off of his checkbook. So right there, I am immediately in a situation where there's no way I can steal from him, but he can rob me fucking blind.
Right, and you can add a bunch of expenses
and
on the things that
front end load
Yes.
expenses to make it look like they're losing money, and
That's
dude.
Hollywood accounting.
Yeah. No, it's stealing. It's stealing is what it
Yes.
is. They just call it Hollywood accounting.
Yes.
But it's not Hollywood accounting. It's corporate accounting. It's scumbag accounting. That's just, and it's how they do it, and they sleep at night, and then they always ask, oh, that's over in the accounting section of the building, not over here
Like
where
Wall
me
Street
and my
for
yacht
years.
are. I'm like artist friendly. You know, I majored in fucking liberal arts in college.
Well, what was really interesting when podcasts started to take off, they started to try to get in with the old model and weasel into podcasts and buy pieces of podcasts. And like if you come
dude,
on my network,
your deal is if you think the fucking industry is gonna sit back when they didn't get to wet their beak on that thing, I'm gonna tell every young comic when we get back to this shit is what they're gonna do now is what the music industry did, where they started signing straight across the board deals. They're gonna get some young kid who's got no power in the business and it's just like, we'll help you create a podcast. So we're signed with so-and-so, blah, blah. And what they're going to do is they're going to own the podcast. The advertising money is going to go to them, and they're going to rob them fucking blind.
100%.
They're going to 100% going to fucking steal from them, rob them fucking blind, and then when they get audited and they get caught stealing, they're going to label that kid, that young comic, difficult to work with, meaning difficult to steal from.
it's already happening.
Yeah.
I know guys young guys, I won't name any names, but they've come up to me and go, hey, I'm signed to this management company. They want to sign me, but they want a piece of my podcast.
No.
They want a piece of this, and they want it
There's
in
no reason.
perpetuity.
There's no reason.
Yeah.
You got to tell people that, dude.
Oh, I
Because
tell
you're the you got to tell.
Oh, I
You
tell
got to tell people.
I tell them, don't give up anything. Don't give up anything. Don't ever. It's all you. It's all
Because they're
yours.
not going to do anything for you. What they're going to do is move the ball quicker that first fucking 2 years, and then the rest is all going to be you.
Yo, what's up with his Spotify deal? Bill Burr on Joe's Spotify deal. And that's the whole thing with Joe Rogan. Like, he's been pretty much independent. He has some sponsors, but they can't really fuck with Joe Rogan. And now he has a Spotify deal for the Joe Rogan podcast. I mean, Joe Rogan is the fucking shit when it comes to podcasts. He has the #1 podcast in America. Everybody wants to be on his show. Like, he's very, very... He and his guests are very influential. And now he has something with Spotify.
You just hang in there and struggle a little bit. Like
You've got to grind. You just got to hang in there and keep going. I mean, I got a lot of offers to buy half of the podcast or to buy, and nothing. I won't do it. I'll never do it. But then Spotify came along and they said, we'll give you a licensing deal. So just put it on our network for 3 months, but you still own it.
Right.
I'm like, all right, we're in. And that's why we did it that way. But this this comic that I won't name, he was telling me that this management company, they wanted to sign him. They wanted to own a piece of his podcast forever. And I'm like,
what
that
that'll eventually will become, because what they're going to look at it is they're going to make it like if you started a podcast while you were with this manager or while you were with this agent, it'll be like back in the day when you booked a sitcom.
Exactly.
And then if you left the agency of the manager throughout the lifetime of that sitcom, you owed the commission to them.
Exactly.
But back then, that you needed them to do that. You don't need them for the podcast, but they're going to do that. So then you're going to leave this manager, and then for the rest of your fucking life, you're going to be paying this never-ending alimony.
Yeah.
I mean, there'll be guys eventually, they'll try to take 50, 60, I own your podcast.
Yeah.
Managers will start, agents will start podcast networks because there's nobody regulating them to not do that anymore.
I got an offer just 5 years ago from a company that was a radio company that wanted 50% of the podcast. They were going to give me no money. They wanted 50% of the podcast just to be associated with them. And like, we're going to pull together all these advertisers and it's going to help your revenue.
No.
50%. So
no. And they never
the
deliver with what they say they're gonna, and then they come in and they gut the thing.
Well, the beautiful thing about podcasts is podcasts all get big on word of mouth. Like, I've never advertised this podcast. I never did anything with it.
Right.
I never bought billboards or put ads up anywhere. It's just from word of mouth. And the way other podcasts grow is people get on people's podcasts and they say, hey, you listen to Bill Burr's podcast, Monday Morning Podcast, fucking hilarious. And then it just grows.
But I think
from
it's the
people
job
promoting.
of people making money in podcasting to let new podcasters know, do not sign those deals ever.
Yes.
Do not let the fox into the henhouse because they're going to fucking rob you blind.
And you don't need
And
them.
I saw this documentary one time on this heavy metal band, Anvil, right? This crazy thing about this band that just was around forever and never quite made it. And there was I think it was that one. It's one of those ones about an old like metal band from the 80s. And this guy said like the truest shit ever when he was talking about the music business, and this goes straight across podcasts and everything. He goes, you're better to own something 100% and only sell 20,000 copies than you are to not own it at all and sell 20 million. Like, you're literally going to make more if you just sell 20.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, no, they fuck. And then another thing that they do, oh my God, dude. Another thing that they do is then all the people that they lose on, they dump that on you.
Yes, yes.
Like, I remember one time, I forget what I was with this network, and I had a CD that was already made. I already made it, and I just wanted them to put it out on their label. And they wanted to own the CD. And I was like, no, I'm not. No, I don't want you to own it. I just need you to like distribute it. I need you as a distributor. And the guy said to me, he goes, well, you know, ownership shouldn't be that big a deal for you. It should be about exposure. I said, all right, well, let me ask you this. If ownership shouldn't be that big a deal to me, why is it such a big deal to you? And he started like stammering. And then he basically said, well, you know, we get in business with something. He named a couple other comics whose CDs didn't sell. And we have to recoup those losses. It's like, that ain't my fault.
That's hilarious.
I could have told you not to sign that fucking jerk off. What is your... It's not my fault you didn't do the fucking work. So that's the way... I had another one time I signed, but this is back when I made like CDs, and I did one, and I had a 60-40. I was getting 60, and they were getting 40. But their 40 was off the gross, mine was off the net, and all expenses for the album was on me. It's like, I thought we were doing this together. Every fucking thing, the artwork, printing it, all of that, all of those expenses came to me. And in the end, that 60-40, 60 net, 40 gross, they made way more money than I did. It's just how you're like, oh, okay, well, I'm getting $6 on every 10. Yeah, plus, but anything...
It's just hilarious that they would come up to you and tell you that we did some deals with some other comics.
Dude, I got in business one time to make this TV show, and the fucking guy sends the bill for the whole fucking thing. I shouldn't be saying that, but this is a while ago, right? The guy was going to bill us $2,500 a month to use his copier machine, and another, I don't know, $4,500 to use his editing. It's like, dude, we have both of those things. We don't need those. Let's take that money and put it on the screen. We're trying to get this thing to go, and the guy, like, it's the funniest shit ever. He goes, like, I'm insulted by those questions or something like that, which is my favorite thing ever. the offend, like, what is the, like, I don't know. You're a fucking thief, and you actually have the audacity to be, like, taken aback, like fanning yourself. Like, I can't believe you're such a... It's like, how many fucking shows are you charging $2,500 a month to go, fucking...
Use your copy machine?
Yeah.
That's a lot of money. That's rent for a nice apartment.
No, fucking thieves.
Copy machine. How much does it cost to use that copy machine, really? First of all, the copy machine probably doesn't even cost $2,500.
Probably renting it.
Yeah.
Probably rents it for a couple $100 a fucking month.
But even to buy a copy,
he probably has 9 shows paying $2,500 a month for him to go. That's it.
If you have like a really big one of those commercial grade copy machines, what does it cost? 10 grand? I mean, how much could it cost?
I mean, I think he's bought a couple of houses off of owning that copier machine. And I just love telling these fucking stories because these are the things that you like. What's great about podcasting is you can say this. This is for every person out there who has a fucking business, and you know there's that thing where you want to take it to the next level, and then these guys come in and then they're all just like, yeah, well, hey, we're gonna take a piece of it, and they take a big fucking chunk out of it, and what they do is their risk is all the way down here, yours is up here, and then somehow they just, I'm telling you, like, you better just sell 20,000 copies, own it 100%, than 20 million and not own any of it, because you're gonna make more money. That's just how the game is played. And those fucking guys who steal from people, they sleep very comfortably.
But it's also just podcasts, just the stress of dealing with other people's eliminated. Just the stress of dealing with production people.
Slows it down. It slows it down. Yeah,
it slows
it's awful.
it down.
It's awful.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing Spotify's ever done so far is ask, do you know who the first guest will be? And already I'm like, oh.
A lot of these motherfuckers still free. Even
they're gonna be great. I'm gonna try to get my best friends, the funniest people.
That's them justifying their desk.
What about Charlie Sheen?
I can't just sit here like
that Charlie Sheen shit was crazy, yo.
Well,
I'd like to start a email chain, and we could maybe circle back later and have a conference call. And they're just trying to fill up their.
Yeah, they're just having to use
time.
Right,
I got to go, guys.
People, they literally said, we don't want to do anything. We want you to just do what you're doing. Just do what you're doing. Well, that's it.
Let me go do this little photo shoot and come back. And like I said, I'll probably play video games for a little while and just stream later on this evening. Stream some art later this evening. Catch y'all on the flip side.